Casper, we're back with another Tip Tuesday, and so we're going to be talking about great stuff, expanding spray foam. I don't really use a lot of it. I do use it in special cases, which I'm going to go into later, but first let's talk a little bit about what it is. We have foam, you spray, and the typical thing to do is to make a huge kind of pile, make a pile in your general shape and carve it out. People tend to be scared of the expanded polystyrene, but you guys need to know that this is kind of just as bad. Really, it is. It's got bad things too. So no matter where you go, you're going to run into issues with cancer or getting sick. So this one is a bit more manageable as soon as you start sanding, it's all going to get in the air. It's all going to get in the air anyway. Alright, so this is our pre-sprayed pile, but for demonstration purposes, let's put some more out on the table for you guys. There we go. And this is just some medium density fiberboard. I don't really care about. You want to use, if at all possible, this all in one go, because it very, very easily solidifies in the tube and in the nozzle. I tried my best earlier to make sure it was clear, but if this doesn't work, you'll know why it's kind of a waste of money if you don't use use as much of the can as you possibly can. Oh well, so this keeps your finger clean, and you definitely don't want to be touching it because maybe toxic. Here we go. Alright, so you want to keep the nozzle kind of in the mound you're creating. What this does is it keeps larger air pockets from forming, unlike this one, you'll see. And so when it expands, it'll be more or less a uniform blob. Oh, also you want to shake it. Did I forget to shake it? Yeah, I did. I need paper towel or something to clean this up. Alright, let me shake it up over here where I can clean it up pretty easily. Okay, there you go. You see how from me shaking up just a little bit, it needs to be actually shaken for the full 60 seconds that it recommends. Also remaining upright is helpful too. Alright, so you guys get it. That's how that works. That's going to go over there, solidify, and I'm going to throw it away basically. Because I don't really have any plans for it. This is just for your benefits, for your demonstrations. Okay, now this has been solidifying it's been curing for a few days. We'll actually have one more demonstration to do. And we're going to do cut into it. And I'm going to clean this off. Okay. You want to use a foam thing to punch this, a foam saw to punch in, because it leaves these the tip keeps it from compacting down and creating more of a cavity. But if regular saws work, don't worry about it. Alright, I'm going to try and cut as clean of a wedge out of this as possible. Now, if I remember correctly, these cans run about $6 on sale, at least that's where I am. And you pull this out, and we're pretending we've sculpted something. We sculpted a hammer. Now, one of the big issues I run into when I'm using this is actually finishing it, making it look nice, making it look finished. But with it being an open cell foam, there's large cavities, especially when you don't, fill it consistently like I showed you in the beginning. This is a problem. You don't want these large cavities. What happens when you have large cavities is that you waste all the advantage of the lightweight material you're using. So you have to fill it with this heavier material, and that's no good. So so you basically lose all the weight advantage. With these, you can go in with some pretty clean tools, and then finishing is fairly simple, and you don't add too much weight to it when you're adding whatever you're covering the foam with this foam, or even what is this, styrofoam. But with this, you tend to get a lot more cavities, a lot more finishing, because it just has so many holes in it. It's a bit softer. It takes actually a lot more of it, because it's a more springy. It will take a bunch. It'll be a bunch more durable. It'll be a bunch more durable. Use my words of greatness and wonderful articulation. So that's one thing I can say that's good about it. If you need something to be really, really spongy, good material. Additionally, if you have a mold, it is a good material. If you can pull it away and you have a clean edge. You've all seen like the pumpkins at Halloween, right? Well, they just have a mold and they fill it up and then they pull it away, and then there you go. Those are more of a mix batch expanding foams, and they do wonderful work. Those finishes look great, and it's really not too expensive for your for the advantage you get in weight. And the finishing is easy. You usually just paint it and seal it, or seal it and paint, I should say. And there you go. Now what you see here is another thing I tend to do with this is fill kind of BS cavities. Sometimes when you're working, you run into places that you want filled. Leaving this open cavity makes it some places can be easily broken or smashed or something. But once this solidifies, that's going to harden, and that's going to support the entire prop or the entire armor. And so, say this was covered up and you had just like a little hole and you had like a pauldron, and you had a cavity in your pauldron. Go in here and fill that cavity, and bam, you've reinforced the pauldron, and you don't need to worry about it getting smashed nearly as much. Alright? So, I'm not a huge fan of the sculpting technique because of how much, how rough it is. There are other good options, but for filling and doing the molds, good job. I might not buy this can because it's quite expensive for the amount of what you get out of it. But the spray or foam, expansions foam, does have some uses. I hope you guys enjoyed this Tip Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Good times for all. Looks like you made it all the way to the end. If you're interested in more new tutorials, con coverage, and other cosplay shenanigans every week, hit that sub button to get it delivered hot and fresh to you.